All right. And we are live. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Let's go.
Oh, it's on YouTube. It's actually on YouTube. We are live, baby. It is Filmaholics episode. I think we're at 5, maybe 6, one of the two, but it's the
We'll
what is
figure
it
it
usually?
out. We'll
It's one
figure
of,
it
yeah,
out.
it's one, yeah, we'll figure it
It
out.
just all flows.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, we should say it's like episode 100 or something soon. I guess I'm the only person watching on YouTube right now. That's kind of cool. But hey, for the thousands across the country looking for FAP's reaction and response to not only today's movie news, but also the Emmy nominations. Heck, we may even surprise you guys. I didn't bring this up to your guys' attention, but we may even surprise you and do a little bit of a prediction for who we think might win, just for fun, just for
I
shits
like
and
it.
gigs, just to see.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Exactly. Vu's internet seems like it's actually going kind of fast today. That's kind of dope.
I updated my computer, so hopefully
Let's go.
I'm with you all
Hey,
episode.
maybe that's what it. Let's go. All right. Well, hey everybody, thank you so much for jumping on with me today. This is FAP, like we said, episode 5 or episode 6. I'm here live today on YouTube with the one, the only Vu and Boo Radley. Boys, introduce yourself quick for those who don't know who you are.
How's it going, guys? I'm Alex Vu. I'm just a movie lover trying to get more into the world of film.
Fair enough.
Hey, I'm Boo Radley. Thanks, Sexy Kev, for having us on the show for episode 5 and our first live stream on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock, and don't even notice that big fat 0 we got there. 'Cause I can start hearing.
Just ignore it.
Just ignore it because there will be lots of people following and listening in. That's one thing I think that's great about this episode, boys, is that we're actually finally like on top of something like right away. Like we're the same day the Emmys our nominations are put out there. We're reacting the same day.
We're riding the wave, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how we do it here at Fat Podcast, Fat Entertainment, whatever the hell we are at this point. But yeah, I mean, we got a good amount of good topics today. I mean, I think the Emmy's gonna be the big thing. We also saw a movie last week, Brad and I. We saw Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. So we'll give like a quick review of that. But I had to assume that this episode is gonna be pretty. And then I also saw Asteroid City in that movie. Well, you guys will hear my reaction at the end. But we've got a couple of cool topics. Like I said, we got the nominations. We're going to run through the biggest, snubs and surprises. We're also going to go through a surprising list that was actually put out this week. It is the top streaming services. This is from 9 to 5 Mac, but I think the top 3 answers may surprise most of you out there. So I'm excited to run through that. And then we got a quick update on Superman Legacy cast update, just because we seem to be the podcast for that kind of a thing. So we're just going to keep diving into it and keep updating on something. I really hope the amount of effort we put into this DC universe ends up coming to fruition, because they should be paying us. Them and AMC, one of the two.
Yeah. One day.
One day. Anything else you guys wanted to discuss today, or any topics you guys were thinking of? I mean, Brad, you've been so out of commission. You were just in the middle of nowhere, Colorado.
I was camping in the national park, so I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I will say this too, that Brad is a little sad right now. You don't have to explain. I mean, you can see probably on his shirt what's going on. But
USA just lost to Panama, semifinals.
yeah,
Heartbreaking stuff.
yeah.
But you know what? We get up, we shake it off the dirt, and we advance. Okay, and we talk
Exactly.
Emmy nominations.
Yep, exactly. We talk Emmy nominations. We woke up today. I actually was looking forward to this. I didn't know it was being released this week. But have you guys ever watched the Emmys before?
Ooh, back in the day.
Yeah, like as
Yeah.
a kid.
When it was on like CBS and your mom was watching it or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing about.
Yeah, just award shows now. I don't know. It's just tough to watch.
So I watch. In 1 second, my air conditioning is leaking. 1 sec.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks.
All right, sorry about that. I think one thing that's interesting about the Emmys now is that, one, the Emmys used to be kind of like just kind of basic, terrible TV. It was like ABC, NBC, these terrible shows that are being put on TV for us to wait for. And I feel like now with the streaming services truly coming up and putting out real money into TV shows. I mean, right now you could say that TV shows has hit its peak. I don't know how much better you can get than what we're experiencing right now when it comes to television. I mean, just name a couple of your guys' favorite shows off the top. Vu, you go first, then Brad.
I think the number one show that got the most nominations, Succession.
Yeah.
That was huge for me this year.
Yeah.
Succession. I mean, House of the Dragon.
Yep.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big drama year for sure.
It was.
There's some
for
top
sure.
tier dramas.
And especially, I think this may be the last year. Maybe next year we'll get lucky, but this is the last year before the writer's strike really impacts TV. So, I mean, we'll have to see, how TV is going forward. But right now, I would say the Emmys is a very close. It's second place to the Oscars, of course, but it's closer than it's ever been. It's a good way to put it. So, hey, let's go into why everyone's here. Why we've got the 0 people who are watching around the world are experiencing this with us. They're here for the list of nominees. Now, I was wondering, do you guys know if I can maybe present?
Oh, a little share screen.
Yeah, I wonder if I could do that. Share screen. Okay.
This would be a game changer.
I know. I think we might get lucky. Okay.
Bear with us, our vast YouTube audience. Bear with us.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to talk about while I figure this shit out?
Vu, what's the last movie you watched?
I saw No Hard Feelings a couple of weeks ago. Actually, last night I watched Transformer: Age of Extinction. I think it's the first one with Mark Wahlberg. It's all right. So
Age of Extinction? Yeah, it's not the worst. I didn't think it was the worst.
It's a fair way to put it. It's all right.
It was all right.
Do you guys see? Is it there?
Yes.
Let's go.
Dude, 1% better. That's one of our mottos. 1%
every
better.
episode.
So the beginning. So as we're go through these Emmys 2023, this article, this segment is Let Me Talk to You. It's where we run through the news, run through what's kind of like the big topics for this week. And the number one topic for today is gonna be the Emmys 2023. So we're looking at the list of nominations via The Hollywood Reporter. I hope we don't get any sort of copyright infringement here, but we'll see, right? Won't we?
Strike number 1 on your first live stream.
Yep. So what I think we should do is, okay, this one's giving you like an idea. So it looks like the 75th annual Emmys currently set to air live from Peacock Theater. Interesting. I've never even heard of this Peacock Theater. I guess I have heard of the Microsoft Theater. Okay. On Fox. So that's gonna be September 9th, I guess, or September 18th. Yeah, there we go. And I guess the host has not been revealed, but Jesse Collins, Diane Harmon, and Janae Rouzain Claire set to produce the telecast. Whatever the fuck that means. I mean, I will say this is a weird year just because of the writer's strike. I mean, are people going to show up? Or, I feel like things may change. And I feel like it may be a thing where this might be the most awkward Emmy Awards we've ever seen, just because there are a lot of shows that deserve the awards. But, I mean, who's going to show up and accept them? Can't be the writers. Who knows? So I'm kind of excited to see how this goes out. I kind of always root for a nice old clusterfuck when it comes to situations like this. But all right. So we're going to start off with Best Drama Series, and the nominations go as forward. So we got Andor, Better Call Saul, The Crown, House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, Succession, The White Lotus, and Yellow Jackets. Gentlemen, when you see these names right here, that is a powerhouse team. That's an all-star team of shows right there. Give me your thoughts, Vu. What are some of your favorites? I mean, what do you think? I mean, any of these shows you feel like shouldn't be on there? Just give me your overall thoughts when you're looking at these best drama series. Pretty much the peak of the Emmys, I would say. Maybe the number one award.
The first thing I thought of when I read this list was, wow, I need to watch way more TV.
Yeah, but I will say the Emmys for me are like, okay, these are the shows I actually need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah. So I've only seen maybe 4 shows. I've seen Andor.
Okay.
I guess I've only seen half of Andor. The Last of Us.
Wait.
Succession. Yeah.
Half of Andor?
I got bored like half.
No!
Yeah. When he gets sent to jail, I was just like,
That's the best part. That's literally when it becomes the best part of the show.
I got a lot to watch then.
All right, keep
You
going,
know?
man. Sorry.
But I think looking at this list, I think it shows you how dominant HBO's drama department is. Like half of this
Yeah.
list is basically HBO, and rightfully so. I thought Succession. I just started it this year. It was the series finale, and I thought one of the best series I've seen. Thought it was great. Last of Us, I thought was fantastic. Looking
Yeah.
forward to season 2 whenever that may air. But yeah, a very powerful list of shows on here that I don't know who's gonna win it.
Yeah, Brad, give me your thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, that's a good point about HBO. You kind of look at it and you're like, wow, they have, like 50% nominations for best drama series. But that's been HBO. I mean, that's been HBO since day one.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, Sopranos, Westworld. You can just name them again and again and again. But yeah, just like Vu said, yeah, I've seen about half of these. So I think
creates a good
obviously
list, man. It creates
it's a good list. So it's obviously
Yeah.
Better Call Saul. I hear so much about, and I need to
know.
give it attention.
Same. That's the one
I
show on this
really
list
do.
I really have not seen.
And I feel bad. Yellow Jackets, again, I've also heard word of mouth a lot. So it's another
there's
show I
some
want to get
passionate
into.
fans. Yeah.
But it's either House of the Dragon or Succession for me. It's kind of interesting because you're comparing season 1 of a show versus like the season finale, the final season.
Yeah. That's a very good point too. God, I forgot how great. I mean, how did it go? So was House of the Dragon was last year. So it went House of the Dragon. Then what was after House of the Dragon? Was it like a little bit of a break? And then it was The Last of Us?
I think White Lotus.
White Lotus.
Might have been, yeah.
White Lotus, you're right, was in between.
They've had 5 straight just hits.
And that's how it should be until The Idol. Have you guys heard of The Idol show?
Yeah,
the Weekend one.
Yeah,
I heard it was pretty cringe.
The Weekend cringe porno, essentially, they call it. Yeah.
Have you watched it, Kev?
No. I think I'll get too excited the entire time. No.
rock hard for an hour.
Yeah, doing. Yeah. We gotta delete this episode. Hopefully, no one from AMC is watching. 100 people.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor. Yeah, no, I definitely. But yeah, I mean, out of all these shows, bringing it back to the Emmys, I could go on and on about that show. But, out of all these, my favorite shows were I loved Andor. Better Call Saul. That's something I've heard it's, it goes Breaking Bad, then, as 1A. Better Call Saul is 1B. They're that good with each other, and I've heard it ends on a very high note, just like Breaking Bad. The Crown, I've heard good things about, of course. I mean, I just can't sit. I've heard it's the most expensive show on Netflix. I've heard it's just beautiful. The set pieces are phenomenal. I just think it really bore the crap out of me, truthfully. But I mean, there's a reason it's up here, and I think Nicholas. Maybe not Nicholas Holt's in it. I could be thinking of a different show, but I like him as an actor a lot. I've heard good things about The Crown. I almost wonder if this is the last season of The Crown, and this is them kind of like doing like a, just because they've been nominated for every other season, is a solid show. But whatever. Maybe I just don't know enough. House of the Dragon, great show. I will say this made me forget anything about the final season of Game of Thrones. I thought it was such a great watch, no matter what you could say about it. I mean, whether, going through the years too fast, using some actresses one day and the other day you're like, who's this actress? What are they fitting into the show? I mean, but at the end of the day, it was Game of Thrones at its finest. Brad, Brad, give me your rundown of House of the Dragon. You loved it, man.
Yeah, it's probably my most favorite fantasy series is George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. I thought season 1 was great. Essentially, for people that don't know, what they're doing is between books 5 and what we're waiting for, which is book 6, Winds of Winter. George has been writing it for about 10 to 12 years. He essentially wrote a Targaryen history book from the start of the conquest until, like where we are with the main show, Game of Thrones. And so that's what they are trying to put to the screen, is this Targaryen history book. So, I mean, that's why you're going to have, some like drastic time differences, because whereas Game of Thrones was, like a couple years within thousands of pages, this is like 200 years within 500 pages. So,
yeah.
But I still thought it was fantastic. CGI obviously is great. There's a lot more dragons now, and that is always a good thing.
Nice. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard very good things.
Oh man, it's definitely a worth the watch. Especially what's good about it, dude, is that you can go into the show not knowing the other Game of Thrones. I feel like, Brad? Am I correct about that? Because
Yeah,
this is
it's a
almost leading
prequel.
into that. It's a prequel. So I feel like it's one season. It's consistently really good TV. I think there's really one episode where I was kind of like, all right, that was a little bit of a filler, but every show's gonna have that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a very solid show for sure. And then Andor, I don't know if I can run through a quick rundown with Andor, but I love it because it is essentially like a PG-13 rated R version of Star Wars, even though it never would be. But it's just like the Game of Thrones style. It's just a more serious version of Star Wars. Darker tones, not as no lightsabers, not as many blasters. Hell, not even that many action scenes. It's a show about character, and the character they face on is Andor, who is from Rogue One, which is kind of it's one of the only movies of Star Wars where it ends with just death and them losing essentially, which is a prequel into leading into the Star Wars A New Hope and things like that. So it's just a good show that I recommend if you want something a little bit more serious, not as cookie cutter, and it takes a lot of risks. Something we talk about a lot, especially last episode with Star Wars. It took a lot of risks. And I can see why it may bore a lot of people, but it's something where if you add a little bit more action and you take this style of show into something with the movies going forward, I think you're going to have a very successful franchise, and I think you're going to bring Star Wars back to where it was.
And the cast was fantastic too.
Cast was great. Oh my God, cast is great with that. Yep.
Yep.
Last of Us. Who here didn't see Last of Us, right? We all watched it, correct?
Yep.
I mean, it was the zeitgeist of the in the winter. You know what I mean? It was the thing that everyone was talking about week to week. It pulled you by your heartstrings. It's essentially a show. Or Vu, do you want to give a description on the show?
Yeah, I guess it's I'd say a post-apocalyptic, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
After a virus kind of takes out a lot of the world, and there's fractions, little cities now being run, and Pedro Pascal is forced to take on this mission to get a car battery, and brings a girl across the country, and they get into some trouble, and it's just a good show overall, I'd say. I think
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I think episode 3 may be like my favorite episode I've watched this year.
Yeah,
with Bill and Ted.
I could be wrong about that. That's a beautiful episode. That's one thing. It's based on a video game, but it's not completely copy and paste. Yes, there are many parts where it is kind of copy and paste because it's, some say, the greatest video game of all time. But this is where they took liberties in the right ways. I feel like. I think the only kind of complaining you ever heard when it came to the show is from people who were obsessed with the video game and may not like some of the things that were portrayed in a different way. But if you ask me, if I'd never seen a video game, this show was just put out there, it's a 10 out of 10 show either way without it. I mean, I did moments Lindsay was bawling her eyes out, many episodes, just so engrossed. I feel like it was a show that everyone around the country was just watching, so impressed and excited to see, wow, this year of TV is really going to start off with a bang, because HBO was promising a lot coming on in 2023. And this is essentially going to be the new season of their top TV shows. And, I can't wait for when we go down the episodes, or we look down the list of what HBO has for the rest of the year, and just kind of get excited about that. But I mean, Brad, thoughts on this show before we move on? Just any final thoughts before we go? And then if you want to start Succession as well, just kind of give your thoughts there.
Of course. I think the coolest thing about The Last of Us is it's just, essentially you're watching two people on a journey, and they start out as strangers, and then they just become like essentially family, like super, super, super close. And so I think that just, watching that over the winter when you're cold, you're indoors, it was just a nice week to week thing. Like you said, it was all about the zeitgeist, word of mouth. Like people were, hey, what did you see the latest episode? Like, what'd you think? So yeah, great. Definitely deserves to be up there.
And before we jump into it, sorry, none of us even brought the fact that there are zombies in it. That's because the show on paper just looks like a zombie kind of scary film or TV show. It's more than that. It's about world building. It's about character. I thought we all put it perfectly in the fact that, hey, just for anyone else listening out there, there's zombies in it too.
It's like the B plot too. That's the cool thing.
Exactly, right? Yeah, there's only like 4 episodes where they're truly, maybe they're involved more, but that's one thing some people would say it needed more of, but hey, who cares? All right, keep going to this. We won't take this long. I just think because this is probably the best, the most important segment.
category.
And then going to Succession. I mean, Succession, Brad, give me a rundown too. Same with
I
your
mean,
guys'
season
thoughts.
4, I didn't watch it week to week. I waited till it was bingeable, and I just ripped the whole season in a pretty short amount of time. And I mean, wow, like you've got the guy dying. Like I wasn't expecting that.
Mhm.
And then when they find out during Connor's wedding, like that was like gripping my heart.
Maybe
And
the
then,
greatest episode of TV I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Especially
emotionally
live.
gripping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then watching the election night and just like seeing the power that they have in the background of how they can like kind of sway just the public perception of the election. Like it was just such a crazy season and a really great way to end the series too.
What are your thoughts, Vu?
Yeah, I totally agree. Didn't get onto the Succession hype until this year when season 4, the final season, was airing. So I binged seasons 1, 2, and 3 as season 4 was going on, and luckily I was able to join midway through live. And yeah, I was at a loss for words this season. I liked how they split each episode up into like a day. Like it was a full-on day or two after the father's death.
Yep.
After episode 4. I like
What was
that.
the first live episode you saw?
Ooh, I think it was the one after Logan's death.
Ooh.
Yep. So I luckily didn't get that spoiled for me when I was watching it and binging. So, but it was
That's a good starting point to start being a part of like the zeitgeist.
yep. But yeah, it was probably one of my favorite shows that I watched this year.
Yeah, I would agree with you, man. It's up there. I mean, and then White Lotus is a show about essentially this couple goes on vacation. There's much deeper than this statement here, but it's just people. It's just about sex and love, and it's a good show. Something I kind of liked. I'm feeling I'm not going to give a good description because I feel like out of all the you guys, I'm not giving a lot of caring because I feel like it's not going to be the show that wins it all. I mean, if you guys had to make a prediction, who wins the best drama series?
I think it's Succession.
Is this Better Call Saul's final season as well?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure if it's won it before because as you guys know how it works is that they essentially have to go. They have to like kind of like go like to like events and essentially be like, hey, this is why we should win. And it's almost like you're shaking hands, like you're networking the entire time.
Yeah, it has never won.
Vote?
What'd you say, sorry?
Is it not based off like a critic's vote?
I don't think it is. I think the Emmys it is, but you're swaying the critics. You're essentially trying to move them to vote for you.
Gotcha.
It's not necessarily a thing where it's like, well, my favorite show was this. It's kind of like a little bit. There's a little bit of more politics to it. I'm gonna give it. I'll say this. I think Succession wins this one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, but yeah, Better Call Saul has not won it ever.
Crazy.
Jeez.
So it could be. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I would not be surprised if they did. All right. We've got one person following. Thank you so much for following. Leave a comment, and we're putting t-shirts out soon.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God! Stay with us. Oh,
The fat
okay.
merch is
I'm all
coming.
flustered. What do I do? Okay, just read, Kevin. Just read the script.
Be cool.
Yeah, keep it cool. Okay. So, best actor in a drama series. Okay, best actor in a drama series, guys. We don't have to go run. Oh, they're gone. All right, that's cool.
Can't even want them.
Damn. All right, Jeff Bridges with The Old Man, Brian Cox, Succession, Kieran Culkin, Succession, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us, and Jeremy Strong, Succession. Holy shoot, there are a lot of nominated Succession members just in this one category, and I'm pretty sure it's like this for the entire nominations. I mean, who do you guys think wins for this one? I mean, give me your thoughts.
That's tough. Like when you have 3 people on the same show gunning for the same award, do you think that kind of deters each other away from it?
I could see it.
I was wondering that too.
Yeah. Does that give a member of Succession less of a chance because they're competing with other people on that show?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I bet it's Pedro
of the
Pascal's
show.
to lose.
Yep, that's what I was thinking
Same.
too.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks for putting it out there, Brad. Thanks for putting it out there. Yeah, I completely agree. And one thing that helped Pedro Pascal this season was the fact that, gosh, he just went home run after home run after home run after home run. He was in that movie with he's just on top of his game right now. And I feel like he was in the movie with like Nicolas Cage. He had the #1 episode of SNL that he hosted. It was fantastic, hilarious. I completely agree with you. And Jeff Bridges, great actor in The Old Man. I think that show is so good, but he's not going to win best. I mean, he's not going to win the best actor. Brian Cox, great swan song of a season. I think he's won this award before.
I mean, he dies midway. I mean, come on, you can't give it to him.
He's 4 episodes into the show.
Yeah, fuck you, Brian Cox. Kieran Culkin, as Brad would say, fuck you, Kieran Culkin. Actually, I like Kieran Culkin's acting this season better than Jeremy Strong, but I don't want either of them to win. I agree with you. Bob Odenkirk. I think it's between Pedro and Bob Odenkirk, if you ask me.
I agree. Oh, yeah.
Unless Bob Odenkirk has won it before, then he doesn't deserve. You're right. I think it's easy. We can move on from that one. I think we all agree with Pedro Pascal as our vote.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Best actress in a drama series. We got Sharon Horgan, Bad Sisters. Didn't see that show. Melanie Linsky, which is from Yellow Jackets. I didn't see that show. Elizabeth Moss. Well, this goes without saying. I mean, Handmaid's Tale every season. It's a great show. I've watched a little bit, and every time I'm watching, I'm very much engrossed into it. I haven't seen it, so we're gonna move on. Bella Ramsey. I like that, and just want to make sure. I'm surprised. Maybe I'm just stupid, and don't take this wrong by anybody here. No, I'm not even gonna go into it. Good for Bella Ramsey for The Last of Us.
I want to hear where were you gonna go with that?
Well, can they be a best actress if they go by they them pronouns?
Oh,
it's a great question.
That is a good question. Actually,
we're in new territory these days.
I know, so I just don't know. I wasn't trying to cause drama. We already lost the person, apparently. No,
I didn't want to bring a touchy subject up, but I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Carrie Russell with The Diplomat. I never watched that, but I've heard good things. Again, I heard her performance in it was really good. And then Sarah Snook, Succession.
That's tough. I've only seen 2 of these performers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you give it to Bella Ramsey, maybe.
Yeah, I thought they did an awesome job.
Sarah Snook again is just stuck in a show where everyone's just phenomenal at the top of their game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a good point about Sarah. It's hard to distinguish yourself when you're.
Was she the best actress out of all of them? Just because she's female? Like, I'm just saying in general. Like, was she the best?
Just on the show in general?
Yeah.
I thought I am a Jeremy Strong guy on that show, so I don't have to say he was the best.
I don't know. That's a hard show to have to say someone was the best actor.
I know.
They all have an equal part, and they all do their part so well, which makes it tough.
That's the show. The show's a 10 out of 100, just phenomenal, just masterpiece, if you ask me. It's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, experienced. Mm-hmm. And I feel like all these actresses are the #1 actress on their show. And maybe she's the #1 actress, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if you get
the main role,
I'm just saying, like, Pedro Pascal with The Last of Us, if he wins that, because I think Bella Ramsey's up there with him. And I could say they're equivalent in acting. She just may not get as much because she's not the sex appeal, I guess. She's not trying to put herself out there as the sex appeal like Pedro Pascal. But I think she puts out in a performance that helps move that show along just as much as he does. If you don't succeed with the Bella Ramsey and that with a who's the actress? What's the name of the character in the show?
Ellie.
If you don't have an Ellie that's just as important as a Joel, that show doesn't work. But their work together. I mean, that's a show that they have to work off of each other. I like her a lot in it.
Good point.
So
yeah,
I think for me it's her.
Yeah, I go with Bella.
And I feel like Elizabeth Moss might be in the same kind of category as Bob Odenkirk. Been there, she's so many seasons. Is that going to win it? Is Hulu's show the best acting out there for? I don't know. I mean, I've heard it's amazing, but I just haven't watched it enough to give you guys a true answer. So sorry. This is again this show is a Joe Schmo's reaction to the Emmys, essentially. I would say.
It's who we are.
It's who we are. You guys go to any of those other mother effers who watch this as their career. I have to do sales most of my day. Follow me on LinkedIn. All right. Best supporting actor in a drama series. Let's move on. So we've got F. Murray Abraham, White
This one
Lotus.
just makes me laugh. It's White Lotus or Succession.
It literally is. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about this. Nicholas
It's
Bond.
HBO's to lose.
Yep. It's cousin Greg. Yeah, it's HBO's to lose. Michael Imperioli, who was the grandfather in that show. Theo James, who was the good-looking white man in that show. Matthew McFadden, I think that's Tom.
Yep.
That Succession. Alan Ruck, that's the guy from
Connor.
Yep. And then Will Sharp. Oh, I think Will Sharp is like the good-looking other. He's the best friend of the Theo James. And then Alexander Skarsgård is the villain in Succession, which he does a great job. If you ask me, I think this goes to Tom.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
Yep, it's got to go to Tom. Tom was probably one of my favorite characters on Succession, outside of Kendall, of course. On the
What
Kendall
a
stand.
season 4 evolution, and just like magically playing this horrendous relationship he has with God, what's her Siobhan?
Snook, Siobhan, yes.
Yeah,
Shiv.
I mean,
he stands up for himself this season.
Yeah, he does. And even just the way his character development. Everyone's the most radical. Him and Greg, I'd say.
Yep, the disgusting bros.
Yeah, the disgusting bros had a disgusting evolution in character development.
Yeah, I want cousin Greg to win, but it's just like, he didn't have much of an evolution. He just kept failing upwards. But
he Gregged it.
Matthew McFadden, wow.
I did not like the White Lotus this fucking much to have this many actors in it.
I only saw season 1, so
season 2's fun. I think I liked it better than season 1, but like
I heard a lot of buzz off of it, but yeah.
Here, I'm gonna ask Lindsay. I'm gonna put myself on mute because she actually liked that show.
Ooh, we're getting a little Lindsay report. Let's go.
This is the first ever Lindsay report.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hey, come on, honey. You look pretty. Come on. All right.
Nice. We get a Lindsay. Ooh, a Lindsay viewer.
Can't hear you, Kevin. We can't hear you. Oh, this is our YouTube subscribe. Oh no. Kevin, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Kevin.
There it is.
All right, Lindsay's here.
There we go.
Give us your answer. Who do you think is going to win the best supporting actor? She's loved both shows. Two of their top shows for her, I feel like. Who do you think wins?
I'm gonna say Matthew McFadden. Succession.
That's what we said. Yeah,
Great choice.
Great choice. All right, thanks, honey. Love you.
Bye, Lindsay.
Bye, Lindsay.
Great job. God, we love having her on this show, don't we?
Is that our first ever guest appearance?
God, the sex appeal has just gone up.
It was drastically low before.
Yeah, I'm really horny right now.
This is turning into a 13 Up podcast.
I'm back.
Also, shout out to Matthew McFadden. I mean, I was looking up his his previous work. Just nothing.
Pride and
Prejudice. Yeah.
And that was it. And then
it.
what, 20 years later, Succession.
Yeah. Boo, how the hell is your internet? How the hell is everything so much better right now?
I'm thinking the updates to my computer made a big difference.
Wait, you just updated it just like the software?
Yeah, because I hadn't updated it in probably 3 or 4 years.
Bro, it's spot on. I love this.
Nice. I'm so happy that I'm not lagging.
Every episode, 1% better, baby.
Dude, we're 2% better. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. You know, we're going to probably get this shut down, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Best supporting actors in a drama series. Oh, White Lotus is back.
Yeah.
All right, Jesus. Jennifer Coolidge. Elizabeth Debicki, I think. Her. I'm not gonna just get in trouble by not saying the correct thing. Megan Fahey, White Lotus. Sabrina Impacciatore, White Lotus. Aubrey Plaza, White Lotus. Rhea Seehorn, White Lotus. J. Smith Cameron, Succession, and Simona Tabasco, White Lotus. Bunch of Italian women that are really good looking in the White Lotus show, and then Aubrey Plaza, and then there's a blonde, beautiful woman, and then Jennifer Coolidge, who's also beautiful to whoever thinks who's into her. I don't want to get canceled. It's not about sex. They're freaking their intelligence is what makes the show for me, and that's their characters. I'm gonna go with. Oh, sorry, you guys go.
As far as this list goes, I've only seen one performance, and that's Jerry J. Smith Cameron. So I feel like her performance may not warrant Best Supporting Actress. I feel like Jerry wasn't really a big presence on this last season.
Not this season.
So
I would agree completely.
All right, I'm going to give it to Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey or Jennifer Coolidge, I'd say.
I feel like Aubrey's gotten a lot of buzz ever since this season of White Lotus.
Oh, she was one of the best parts of it, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was sex, and she brought sex appeal too. Scandal. Yeah. She was awesome. Her intelligence outweighs everything else on the show.
I'll still always think of her as what was her character in Parks and Rec?
Or Parks and Rec. Oh my gosh. Her with Andy. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't think of her character's name now.
I know, I can't either. Damn it. Well, yeah. Moving on to best comment into something that's not as important, because that is a very important topic, and I wish we knew more about it. But we have to move on to things that are lesser. So we're going to say the best comedy series, much less. But it's still important to me. So with the best comedy series, we've got Abbott Elementary on ABC. I think it's the only show that's on this list that's nominated from a broadcast syndicated, like an ABC, NBC, CBS,
which is crazy to me, because like that's what the Emmys used to be exclusively. It was like NBC, ABC, CBS. So
you're so right about that, man. That's how far it's gone.
Yep.
Barry, The Bear, Jerry Duty, Marvelous Miss Maisel, Only Murders in the Building, Ted Lasso, and Wednesday. I think all these shows are perfect nominations. I think this one is hard to say. For me, I mean, god damn, Barry. I mean, just to run through it, Abbott Elementary. I think it's like a school. It's a show about. Didn't you watch this, Brad, for a little bit?
Yeah, I've watched all of it. I'm up to speed.
Same.
Oh, what's it about? Tell me more about the show.
Yeah, it's essentially, it's your next workplace comedy. This is at Abbott Elementary, a predominantly black elementary school in Philadelphia. Yep. And so I just think the writing is great, the acting, the people they've got. Like, I really enjoy it. And it surprised me. I guess I saw ABC, so I was like, oh, it's going to be like for kids or something. But no, like it's genuinely, I have enjoyed it as a 28-year-old man.
Same. I enjoyed it a lot. So
what are some of the good things about it, Vu? Would you say?
I just think the storyline, it's not just like a basic comedy. It sort of reminds me of like The Office in a way, where you have so many different characters that they can follow with workplace scenarios. So it's fresh every episode, but it's still got that core cast that they follow specifically. So
I've heard it's got a good amount of heart. There's even some drama, like not drama, but at the same time, if they got to pull at the heartstrings a couple of times or make you realize some deep things.
I mean, I think it does it does what it does respectfully. It highlights the inequalities that like a low income minority school has, and like creates genuine content from that, and like emotions and comedy. So it's just really well written, really well done.
Nice. Okay. Barry's a top 5 all-time show for me. I'm very excited. It's about essentially a hitman who wants to quit being a hitman and become an actor. And from what you see, season 1 to where it is season 4 now, it's amazing. I mean, it's Bill Hader is the main character in it. You completely forget that he was an SNL character, just like somebody who used to be on commercials for telephone ads. For me, and I think he's nominated for director. Just a fantastic show. One of the best shows I've ever seen. And maybe season 4 didn't hit a home run like I wanted it to. But you know what? If Barry hadn't had the season that it did, where I still think it's very good, it's just on this list, I don't think it's the best. I would still say, I mean, it's one of my all-time favorite shows, but I don't think it's the best out of all these shows. What do you guys think about Barry?
I haven't seen it yet.
Highly recommend it. 30-minute episodes too, guys. Some of the best directing, some of the best cinematography I've ever seen. He directs a lot of them. it's just easy, bro. It's 8 episodes, I think, each season, 30 minutes. So it's just really good to follow along. Some people compared it to Breaking Bad in character development. You see essentially his character become, he's Breaking Bad in the show. So it's I highly recommend if you guys need a show to watch. Jerry Judy, I've heard this show is really good.
I just binged it this week, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
I finished it a couple weeks ago.
You did? Okay, so I haven't seen it. Tell me about it, guys.
Totally watch it. It's like 6 to 8 episodes, 30 minutes. And
it's a documentary about how like a jury is ran, and every person on the cast is an actor besides one who actually thinks they're in jury duty.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, that's cool. That's really
and
cool.
the craziest thing is that James Marsden plays himself.
Yep. I've heard about that. Yep.
And just the shit that this guy, the actor that has no idea what he's in for, like the shit that they do to him, and he just like goes with it and just like, okay, this is normal for jury duty.
Yeah, rolls with the punches just like a champ.
That's cool. I like that. Okay, good. Marvelous Miss Maisel. I've heard good things about this. I haven't watched it. I know the main character in Indiana Jones, or the female main character in Indiana Jones. That's Marvelous Miss Maisel, right?
No, you made that mistake before.
I made that mistake. Yes. Okay. Because I actually think I like the Marvelous Miss Maisel woman. Actually, the actress.
Is she Lois Lane now?
That's who it is. That's Lois Lane.
You keep thinking of the Indiana Jones. She's from Fleabag.
Fleabag. That's right. They're both like same time period. Or am I incorrect about that?
They look similar. I'll tell you that.
They look similar. Dark hair. All right. Only Murders in the Building. I've heard this. It's kind of a fun show. It's funny. It's just it's Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and
Steve
Martin. Have you seen it, Brad?
Haven't seen it. Honestly, those actors don't really do it for me, so I haven't gone out of my way to watch it.
Yeah, it might be a show that our parents like. I hate being that person who says that, because who am I to just say that? Mm-hmm. But may not just be running around my alley, but I have watched a couple episodes and they were pretty intriguing. So Ted Lasso. We all know about Ted Lasso. Brad, give me your thoughts on it.
I'm like a couple episodes in. I'm so bored.
Yeah, they're hour-long episodes. They used to be the show.
I was just gonna say, have the episodes always been that long, or am I just tripping?
I think they have been that long. Yeah, it used to be much better. I mean, I think this show, just based on its past, got nominated, but I did not think this season, writing-wise, should have been nominated. It just was kind of boring. There was heartfelt moments, but there's also a lot of moments where it almost seemed like they weren't really putting the effort in for the storylines, like they were for the past seasons. I don't know. It was fun. I mean, God, it ends with just that last scene is so fucking stupid, and just with her going to the fucking airport and seeing her boyfriend who she slept with. You haven't seen it yet? Okay, well, it's so fucking stupid.
Okay.
It's just dumb, man.
Wait, is this the last season?
Yes, it's
over. Gotcha.
There might be one more season.
God, I hope so.
I've heard there might be one more season, but after this, now it's getting nominated, so might as well. And then Wednesday. Did anyone here watch Wednesday? I've heard great things about it. Everyone talked about it. It was the number one show on Netflix, so I would not, I just don't think it's going to be better than all of these.
I didn't see it.
And then The Bear. I think the reason why I talked about this one the last is because it's the best show on this list. Season 2 is better than the first season. Brad, go into it.
Would you classify The Bear as a comedy though? I felt
the only
like
reason I think they did is but they're not as drama as the other ones. I feel like.
I feel like maybe they did comedy because
there is funny scenes to it, and because I would compare this show to what my so Lindsay described it in a perfect way. There was a tweet I think she saw, but she brought it up to my attention. She said The Bear does what Ted Lasso attempts to do, which actually creates heartfelt moments. Which actually, I think that's why it's in here, is because it's not as dark and deep as some of the other ones, but it's still a very good show. It's also only 30 minutes, which I think is hurting it too, compared to the other TV shows on here. It's just a Chicago cook. It's a Chicago restaurant during the second season. Essentially is how it's going to recover and survive from COVID, especially when you're seeing all these restaurants in Chicago area, go down. It's just, there's a lot of story. The character development is just unreal from season 1 to what you see to season 2.
All the arcs were crazy.
And they do it in 30-minute episodes. The fact that they can do it so well, and so much better in shows that can have an hour of time to do it is beyond me. Vood, what do you want to add to this?
Yeah, I thought the cast was fantastic. I was a big fan of Maddie Matheson before the show came out.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. He's just like kind of this outspoken TV cook. And to see this all come together and with the
Is that fact?
Yep, fact.
Yeah, fact, yeah.
With the cast that they had and the character development, like I turned into the biggest Richie fan this season after watching
I am too.
7.
And Richie kind of annoyed me last season, so I agree with you.
He was the worst.
He was the fucking worst. He really was. And that character development, it's more like I appreciate season 1 so much better because of season 2. And it's hard for a show to do that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely think that it's the best comedy in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best on this list, bar if it's a comedy or not. The Bear is the best show on this list.
I would
Brad,
agree.
do you have anything else you want to say to any of these shows you think he's going to win?
You know, I just want to shout out. I thought Dave got robbed. I thought that was a great season 3.
I thought so too.
Better than Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Ted
Lasso getting there is just cruel.
It's cruel. I love how you become just because we're here. Any other thoughts on Ted Lasso this season for you, Brad? I mean, you can get it out now.
Like, I am a massive soccer guy. I'm wearing a soccer jersey right now. I thought Ted Lasso was the best thing that could happen to U.S. soccer because people in the U.S. that have no idea what soccer is, they get to watch it, and then all of a sudden, this latest season is an absolute bore.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it does suck. I think it does a terrible job with some of the characters I really liked. You know, I think they're, what do they call it? Not patronizing, but like kind of like doing episodes for certain topics just to do it, just to almost get like people to talk about. And I don't even think they did it in a very, very good way. I didn't think it was very well done. I'm talking about like there's an episode, or there's a lot of seasons, there's a character who's gay in this, and I thought they did it in a very weird way, if you ask me. I'm
just getting to that point in the show too.
Yeah, wasn't the best way. I mean, I think I would have liked to see like who was the Mexican soccer player? What's his name?
Danny.
I would love to hear like, you know, what's going on. We never really dive deep into his perspective. It's such a unique perspective. I mean, I think the show is one of the big things about is the diversity. And it seems like it didn't really go into the deeper
He's
parts.
A very
of a lot of
surface level character where they're just like, football is life.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
It's very, what would be the word? Like it's like a generalization of
like
Latino.
Stereotype.
Yeah, stereotype. Like it's
stereotype. Exactly.
Didn't feel good.
No, I agree. The show, the writing was boring and lazy, if you ask me. Okay, best actress in a comedy series. We got Christina Applegate, Dead to Me. We got Rachel Brosnahan, The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Quinta Brunson. Is it Quinta or Quinta? I think it's one of the. Sorry if I fucked that up. Abbott Elementary, Natasha Lyonne, Poker Face, and Jenna Ortega Wednesday. Man, I think that'd be cool if Jenna Ortega won this one. I think it's gonna probably go to Natasha Lyonne or Rachel Brosnahan, if I had to guess.
I haven't seen Poker Face yet.
What's Poker Face?
But I heard it's good.
It's a good show. It's kind of like it's like an old weekly. You know, each episode is not really directly connected to it, but she's like essentially like a cop who's on the run, or a former cop, or something like it. It's. God, I'm gonna butcher this. I don't even want to go into it because I can't give a good description of it.
Isn't it like you like can tell when people are lying?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like God. What's that one show?
Like Psych.
Psych, yeah.
yeah, kind of. It's a mystery of the week series following this chick who has an extraordinary ability to determine when someone is lying. She hits the road with her Plymouth Barracuda, and with every stop encounters a new cast of characters, and each episode has like a new really good actor in it, which is kind of cool. Guest stars aplenty. So it's like a kind of like they describe it as like a How Catch 'Em. It's a pretty good show. We're like 7 episodes in. It's just not my favorite, but I've heard just such good things about how she's really done a good job. So I could see her winning it because she does really run that show, or The Marvelous Miss Maisel, because I've just heard really good things about that show.
I'm a big fan of Abbott, so I'd love to see Quinta.
That's a good choice.
Take this one home.
It's a very good choice. Best actor in a comedy series: Bill Hader for Barry, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, Jason Segel in Shrinking, Jason Sudeikis Ted Lasso, Jeremy Allen White. Brad,
How
I'm
come no
guessing
Steve
who
Martin?
do you?
Is Martin Short the bigger, more important character in that show?
I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know. I
I
think
guess
at this
screw
point, because
Steve
there's only
Martin.
I think at this point there's just only 5. I think Steve Martin plays Steve Martin pretty much in it, so it's not like
Okay.
he's actually giving a performance. Really, I mean, out of these, do you want Jason Sudeikis, Brad?
Can they just announce?
Did you want me to
place?
put down Jason Sudeikis for you for this one?
Can we just just eliminate him? He's for sure 5th place.
Oh,
Give it to Bill.
Bill Hader. Okay, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't think he deserves it. This season's not his best acting.
Ooh.
But he's such a good, he's such a good too. Like, God, guys, I wish they ended the show better. Some people may have liked how they ended it. I just kind of was like, man, no, it was like I said, it's a top 5 show. I won't get over it. Sorry, I gotta yell at myself for a second. Vu, give me your thoughts.
I
on who's
love
gonna
the
win.
passion. I just love the passion. Yes, let it all out, Kev. Scream it out.
Why?
Dogs.
Why?
Oh, I guess the only performance that I saw off this list is Jeremy Allen White as Carmy in The Bear. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did not love his character this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought he was just kind of sabotaging himself all season. Maybe it's just great writing and great acting that you don't want to love Carmy this season.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have his rise.
Yep. I think we'll see the rise of Carmy next season.
But when it comes to acting, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess
is it suitable to win this to you, or do you think?
Oh yeah. So
I think Jason Segel was I saw Shrinking. It was a good show. It's just a good feel good show, but I think it came at a time where it wasn't as popular for a lot of people. Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso. I mean, he's acting wise, he's a good actor. You know, whatever. You can't no matter what would you say about the writing. Martin Short, you know. And then Jeremy Allen White. I think he's a very good actor. I think out of all of them, he is probably the most dramatic acting out of all of them. So I would probably give it to him just because to me that shows true acting, I guess.
Yep, I'd agree.
Cool. Best supporting actor in a comedy series. Jesus Christ. You know what? For this one, you guys can see it. I'm gonna actually give it to Ebon Moss-Bachrach. I think the Bears gonna take a lot. Or Anthony Kerrigan. Anthony Kerrigan Barry was very good this season. Out of this list, what do you guys think?
I think Iban as well. He did such a fantastic job this season in the Bear. So, or I do like James Marsden.
Yeah,
because his acting was really hilarious.
I heard he was super self-deprecating in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was one time he took a fake shit in the hotel and made the jury duty guy cover up and say it was him.
Yeah, because he didn't want the bad press from it.
Top tier, man. Top tier.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that show. Oh my god. All right, I'm pumped about that. Cool. All right, and then we got Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. If any of these names you guys recognize, pick or whatever show you guys think. I'm gonna go with.
Oh, I gotta look up these Ted Lasso. I don't know who these are.
Juno Temple's that a little girl. She's a little girl. And then Hannah Waddingham is the big old broad woman. I'd let her.
She is a big woman.
Spank me.
She
I'm
could
really
walk right over us all.
Yeah, I'm really into her. God, I'm not into women like her, but her, man. Oh my God, she's awesome.
I love that this is our first live stream episode.
Yeah, I love the
know.
vibes of the fat podcast.
You guys are getting true fat talk right now. Exactly. For this one, I'll just give it to. I'm gonna give it to somebody from. I'm gonna go with the Bear. Ao Edebiri. She's the one who's also in the. She does a great job in this season, I think.
Yeah.
How much of a I'm always confused just by these nominations because some of these Abbott people are kind of I don't know, B- character. I'm not just they're really supporting.
Sometimes I think to myself that these people who are doing the nominations don't actually watch the shows.
I'd give it to either Ayo. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
Or I don't know which one it is, but whoever plays the principal in Abbott Elementary, I would hope her name's one of these names on the list.
Yeah, it's Janelle James. It's Janelle.
Okay.
That you're right. That's a great character too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Best limited or anthology series: Beef, Dahmer, Daisy Jones and the Six, Fleischman is in Trouble, or Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought I'm going to say this. I actually did not hate Obi-Wan Kenobi like everyone else. The more I sit on it, the more I actually like it. I actually think there were some episodes that, yes, you know, and if there was only going to be a 6-episode series, maybe you don't have these 2 episodes in there. But are there like 30 more? No, we don't have to go through all these. Oh my God. Yeah, we don't have to go through all these. But here, we'll end on this one. Did you guys see any of these? I didn't know that there was like 30 more in there. Thank God we're live.
I have not, but I want to watch Beef.
I just started Beef, actually. It's interesting. There's a lot of emotions in that show from where
are any of you guys like these serial killer kind of shows?
I watched it and I thought it was really good. I'm actually a big fan of so the director did like American Horror Story. I love American Horror Story. So it's scary. It's really fucked. And you don't see any murders happening really or any gore. But it's the idea of you see like him killing somebody is like him going like this and you see the music in his face and it's not or it's like when you see him die, you see like their fingers go limp. You know, that's one of the things that's really scary about it. So I actually would pick Dahmer because I actually really liked it. All right, and that is our preview of the Emmys. I think between all of us, we can do this ourselves, run through it, and we'll create predictions for the show if we watch it. I don't know. We can do maybe a little bet between us what we think because this shit I couldn't tell how it work. So yeah.
Wait, you don't want to go over best game show?
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's even somebody can win an Emmy for that. Someone's advertising that shit as an Emmy. Come on.
How many times has Jeopardy won? I mean, come on.
It has to be a ton, I would assume. All right, then I think this episode again, we're only going to really get through a couple of things. I mean, let's get to because I do want Lindsay wants to watch Silo with me. Are you guys going to hate me?
I haven't started it yet. Have you started it?
Oh yeah, we're about 3 episodes in. It's great. Are you guys cool with us doing a couple more things and then we save this for next week or whatever our next episode is? An hour-long episode here. All right. So I think what we can go through, dude, next is just the top streaming services. I sent this to you guys. Brad, I think, was still in the middle of fucking nowhere when we sent this, so he may not have seen this. But you know what? We're gonna do the same thing I did with the last one. I'm gonna pull it up.
A little share screen.
I love this feature.
Does this YouTube Live let us record it and then post it to our channel too?
I think it does. Yeah, but I think it shows up under live episode.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So essentially, how this works is I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of 9 to 5 Mac?
Nope.
It's really just a tech. They do a lot of random shit. Most of it's kind of Mac reviews, Mac news and rumors, things like that. There's an entire dedicated audience to the most popular phone in the entire world, which is the iPhone. And I actually follow this website a lot. But one of the things that's so big about it is because they follow a lot of market shares. They're very analytical with their things. So the numbers here we're looking at, I don't think it's actually by people subscribed. I think it's by streamed, what show is the most used streaming platform. So it's not just, I have it as my background, for Amazon. It's people actually using it. That's what they're saying
no
here.
Way.
That's what they're saying here. It's
Amazon
crazy.
Prime Video.
So
yeah, people watching on Amazon Prime.
No, I think they count the fact that Amazon's a big page or a big streamer for renting movies, downloading movies. A lot of people use Amazon for that. There's a huge audience for Amazon. It's just us because we're not there yet. Maybe in 10 years we'll be there. Yeah. But as of right now, we're not there yet. But the headline really is just Warner's Max overtakes Disney Plus in the U.S. while Apple TV Plus remains in the same place, essentially on this ranking of people who are watching the most streamed websites. I mean, out of these sites right here, the streaming charts you're looking at, you will see number one, which surprised everyone here, that Prime Video is the number one watch or streamed fucking streamer out there. The number 2 is Netflix, which I'm actually, you can see there was a little dip in January, but still, I mean, it's much higher than Max and Disney and Hulu. I mean, when we're looking at this, there's nobody. There's Marvelous Miss Maisel was the only show on Prime that was nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah,
Netflix had a few.
Lord of the Rings wasn't even nominated for anything.
Oh, what a terrible, boring show.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah,
spent
it's
$1 billion to have a generic.
Most expensive show ever.
Well, what's good about it is that when you put $1 billion into it next season, you can be like, okay, well, let's scrap that. Let's put $1 billion in this new season and really redo it, really fix it up. So this one. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when you look at Max, it's crazy to see how Max has risen through the ranks. I mean, if you look here, January, February, March. And then it really skyrocketed in April, May, June. I think they're adding HBO Max with the Max here too as well. Mm-hmm. I'm also surprised this isn't like number 2 or 3, like number 1 or 2, but considering HBO's just legacy at this point.
HBO was always viewed as kind of your like premium, extra money add on to your cable. So I think it just, it had some history behind it that I think held it back, whereas Netflix was Netflix.
You also need TV shows for children to watch during the day. I mean, we all think about, our night TV, but, what are kids doing during the day? They're watching TV and they're watching probably Netflix. They have a really good selection of children's television. And then Disney Plus as well. And Hulu, I would even say. But, I mean, out of all these, which ones do you guys own?
I mean, the one I use the most is Hulu, but I don't even know if
and
Hulu...
you don't have to say you own it. Just let's say you have it.
Yeah, naturally. This is the only one I technically do own, I guess.
Yeah. Nice. Hulu.
But you don't know, because Disney owns Hulu, so
yeah,
it's very weird that these both exist separately, I've always thought.
Well, technically, Hulu is still mostly... So there's a partial ownership stake in it by Disney, and then the other ownership is Comcast. And I think Comcast owns 66% of it. And what's going to happen in this new year is that Disney's going to buy it outright from Comcast. So Comcast is about to get about $4 billion from Disney. Disney is in a world of trouble right now, boys. Like, they're losing money left and right.
Is it just from like Marvel, or what are they losing money on?
Everything. Everything they're putting out there has been the worst it's ever been. So like they had a movie in, well, gosh, I'm just, slow it down, Kevin. All right. Put words together in a coherent way. All right. In November, they had a movie called Strange New World. It was the worst box office for Disney. Essentially, it was by the creators of like Frozen. They created this Strange New World. Bomb. Any show
that had like no marketing, right?
No marketing, exactly. Yep. Secret Invasion has been their worst. It's one of the better shows on Disney Plus right now. It's actually a really good show, but nobody's watching. Bomb. Indie, bomb. Elemental, bomb. God, what was the most recent Marvel movie? Was there another? Ant-Man, bomb.
Yeah.
Any movie that wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy was a bomb for Disney.
That's true.
There's a lot of movies under the umbrella that are just not doing well. Some people would say this is the worst season of Mandalorian. The season finale of this season's Mandalorian was the worst it's been from any season for Mandalorian.
Damn.
Yeah.
And
so bomb.
A 2-year extension on his contract today.
Yes, they did, because he actually is he's actually someone who's actually good at, like, he's a good CEO. The person who screwed everything was the CEO prior, Bob Iger was brought back last year. But the guy prior to last year, prior to the writer's strike, prior to a lot of different things changing, Bob Iger is the guy that they want going forward. He's a good CEO. He's the guy who bought Marvel. He bought Star Wars for Disney.
Oh,
he brought in all these great IPs to Disney. The guy who they gave it to during 2020 when Bob Iger retired, I think it was Rob Chapek was the guy, was just a business guy. He'd been working for Disney for years, kind of rise through the ranks kind of a situation, all business. He's the reason why there's so many movies that are like the 5th movie, the 3rd movie, the 4th movie. There's no new ideas. It's all about trying to get that $1 billion IP out there. And because of that, gosh, this is what I want to talk about this week, but I just don't have enough time to do it. And as you guys can tell, I'm going to go on a tangent next week about why movies are failing more this box office season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm excited for next episode. Let's go.
Our live viewers are like keep it going.
Keep
Can't
it
wait for
going.
next week.
2-hour show.
I know, because I want to give like 30 minutes to that. I would do that this one, but you know. All right, well
It
then.
gives the viewers something to look forward to.
Damn right.
Exactly. And then I guess we could go into the Superman just because we just briefly talked. I mean, we've talked about it, but let me share this too. I'm still breathing heavy from that, man. I got really into it.
That's the people can feel the passion.
Oh,
right now.
it's crazy, bro. How last year there were like 10 movies that brought in most of the box office for this season or for the year. There's less now this year because there's so many movies. Like it makes you wonder, why are there so many movies failing this year compared to last year? There's more good movies that on paper you would say, I want to see that one, I want to see that one, I want to see that one, I want to see that one compared to last year. But there's not a lot of risk taking. God, all these movies are generic. Indiana Jones was one of the biggest disappointments I've ever seen. Transformers I actually liked, but I think and actually had some legs to it. But like Elemental, was there anything special about Elemental to you, Brad?
No.
Nothing too much.
It was good in the moment.
I almost forgot it was a Pixar movie, you know?
It was forgettable.
And what do you think about that new movie that's coming out the next year? Elio. Are you excited at all?
No.
No. They showed the trailer for it. No. Oh, boo. This writer strike is the best thing that's ever going to happen to this, and no one wants to admit it, but this is going to be the best thing for movies and TV going forward, I think. It just may impact us for a couple of years, but whatever. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to run through this with you guys, and I'll give you a bunch of articles for you guys to read, for you guys to check out and see what you guys give your thoughts, things like that. But all right. Superman Legacy director explains latest casting additions. Says focus will remain on Superman and Lois, but from what we are understanding with all these new things is that essentially Superman is not going to be what it was like in the past. I guess not even brought in the same way that Marvel did, like Iron Man and all these different things. Essentially, it's going to be Superman living in the world maybe 4 or 5 years into being Superman. It's going to be a world where we all know there's Superman. We all know there's superheroes. It's going to be kind of like as if we're like 5 to 10 years into, and maybe longer, into knowing that there's superheroes around us and near us, which is new, unique, and I kind of like that. And adding to that as well is that we also found out a little more as well. We found out a little bit more about some of the synopsis, which is Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. I kind of like that. It's kind of like today's world if we had a Superman out there. And I think there's a comic book commercial or comic book that goes into this. But the big story about this, too, is that I guess I screwed up, but this wasn't the right article. But I mean, they just started announcing a few new actors. So
yeah, scroll up.
So we see actor Anthony Kerrigan, who is from Barry, great actor. He says he's excited to play Metamorpho. I don't know who that is, but it seems like it might fit for him. Let me find the article that has.
No, you're right. It's all at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Where?
There you go.
No, down.
A little down.
Right there.
Right there. Let's go.
Okay. So with the addition of these actors and actresses, Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. So if you guys know who she is from, she's from Dora the Explorer live action movie. She was Dora.
Oh.
So she'll be playing this actor, which apparently that was a good movie. Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific. I don't know where he's from. I'm blanking out on it. But I think the biggest of all these, and we most recently just saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn, is Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner / Green Lantern. I'm glad we're here today because I wanted to ask Brad, who the hell is Guy Gardner? I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy Gardner, basically Hal Jordan is the main one. That's what Ryan Reynolds was. He was Hal Jordan. And then Jonathan Stewart is the African-American who is really popular with the animated series, I believe.
Yep,
and then
that's the one I know.
Guy Gardner is another white guy. He's like a typical hot-headed, like he runs hot, but he's also
not a true
good guy.
superhero.
Yeah, he's not a super, or he's not like a Clark Kent kind of character. He's he's a hot and cold. He can be a hothead, but he can also be like your greatest defender.
Yeah. So he can be a good side character, is what you're
Yeah.
saying. All right, gotcha. So like for him, I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, what do you think? What do you guys think of this? As just when it comes to Superman, it's gonna be completely different. It seems like it's gonna be almost like kind of like The Boys in a way. How you got all these different Superman characters living in the world. I mean, I kind of like that we're not just restarting it and going through the whole same old spiel we've been seeing for the last 70 years with Superman. We're going into a fleshed out universe that superheroes are a thing, and I mean, I think personally it's a new cool idea. I think it's kind of cool to go against the grain and go not just copy and paste what Marvel did. Maybe it's something we need in superhero movies. I mean, what do you think, Vu?
I just hope that there's good character development in this. That's the one thing that scares me, kind of like how we got like Justice League almost right off the bat in the Snyderverse.
Okay.
Where we didn't get, ample character development for the Flash beforehand or for Cyborg. Hopefully they just dive a little deeper in the right spots for all these new characters that we're about to reset the universe in.
I think it's a very good point. Brad, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, yeah, just reading that sentence that's right below that Superman image, I think makes me laugh out loud because, he is adding these huge names, these big characters, but he's assuring fans that it's to keep the spotlight on Superman. Like, that doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very crowded movie, so good luck.
That's a very good point.
Like, as every day goes on, this becomes the most important and most pressured movie in the history of ever.
Yeah, I would say so. I agree.
It has to succeed.
It has to succeed. You're so right about that, man.
This is 2025, right?
2025, same year as same freaking year.
So we're
as,
in 2023. So in 2 years of more pressure. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Every episode we should do a countdown. That's how this movie releases.
A countdown and then a pressure meter.
Yeah, and it just keeps
like the clock that's like this time to doomsday.
The doomsday
clock. It's gonna be this, but for Superman.
1 minute to midnight. It's almost there.
We feel like we're very much one. Yeah, with David Cornsweet having a coke addiction, I think we're about 1 minute to midnight here with the Superman show or movie. And apparently Ezra Miller is returning as Batman.
Oh my god! 1 second to midnight.
1 second to midnight. Man. Oh god! All right. Well, hey guys. I mean, we put a good hour and 11 minutes into this, or hour 12 and 3 seconds. I mean, if we want to do a quick reviews, I think we give you guys a good idea of what Indiana Jones is. Not a good movie for me. Long.
It's painstakingly boring.
Yeah, boring. The indie scenes were good, and if you are going to see it in Dolby or IMAX, but you know what? I wouldn't pay more than $10 to see this movie, truthfully. I mean, if you got 3 hours to kill.
Yeah, it was painful when our friend joined us with his girlfriend and paid $40 total to see it.
Yeah, with him as Brad literally was laying down. We sat down in the movie theater, and there's like 5 open seats next to us, and Brad just moves over and just starts laying down and watching the movie.
I need to get comfortable because this is putting me to sleep.
That bad.
It's a 6 out of 10. That's what I would give it for me.
2.5 hours you want to knock out on your day, go watch it.
And some there was probably 30 minutes of the movie that was good to me, maybe 40.
The finale's cool. All right, I'll say that.
The finale's cool. Yep, I agree. I thought when they're in the cave, it was like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. I wanted to get
classic
into a cave.
indie.
Exactly, but they didn't need to make this movie, and they did not need to make the Crystal Skull movie. So that sucked. Asteroid City, 6 out of 10 for me. Fine movie. My girlfriend liked it a lot. I think she gives it probably an 8 out of 10. I get it. It was funny, quirky. It just wasn't my thing. I think Brad did a great job of encapsulating what the movie was about, but I'm just going to give it, for me, it's a 6 out of 10. Not my best, not the finest work for them. And then Vu, give us your review of No Hard Feelings, and I'll add my review as well.
Yeah. So No Hard Feelings. It's like I'd say atypical rom-com.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah. Where Jennifer Lawrence's character basically gets hired by helicopter parents to go on a date with their son to get him out of the shell. I actually loved the movie. I went in thinking that this is gonna be really dumb, and I went out like that was a solid movie. I gave it 8 out of 10. I would definitely watch it again. Even
Love it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. I love to hear that, man. I gave
Yeah.
it a 7 out of 10. I didn't think it was very funny. I thought it was
Mhm.
heartwarming. I thought it was
Mhm.
not too long. I was entertained. I mean, there's some funny scenes. And Jennifer Lawrence gets butt naked in it, which was awesome. You know, all frontal nudity is my favorite. Full frontal, if you know what I mean.
Nap After Dark.
Yeah. Half After Dark. Oh, we should do a series like that. But no, yeah, it was fine. I mean, you know, I enjoyed it more than the last 2 movies I've seen. How about this? I'm excited for Mission Impossible, and I'm excited for Oppenheimer and Barbie. I'm
Mhm.
excited for some good movies again. I think I'm ready to see I think this summer we're going to learn a lot about this summer movies. And I think hopefully going forward, it's for the better. I don't know if I just got too much in a short time. I'm not sure what it is, but I also think that actually I do know what it is, and you guys are going to hear that in the next episode.
Stay
Guys,
tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Anything else you guys want to add to this before we go?
Great episode. Looking forward to what happens with the Emmys and
Mhm.
seeing if we're right. You know, see if we have a
Mhm.
pulse. Our fingers on the
Yeah.
pulse.
Yeah,
You heard it here first.
you heard it here first. My sources are saying. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys jumping on. It's kind of a longer, denser episode, just going through the Emmys, but I think we're gonna go back to our normal spiels next week. Kind of more of our going on a little long diatribe. So, but if you like this style of episodes as well, let us know. We can keep doing them. You know, I mean, we try to make it as entertaining as possible when you're watching something like the Emmys, which aren't the most entertaining thing in the world, but we try our best. So, boys, I just want to say enjoy yourself. I appreciate we doing this again, and you know what? Let's we need like a good send off. Do you guys have a good send off that we could say?
We need like a tagline for the end or something. I agree.
I know.
Hey, call me crazy. Movies are fun.
Oh, hey,
yes,
yeah,
yep.
exactly. We're ending with that. Hey, call me crazy, Brad. You end it yourself. I love the way you did it. Thank you all for watching. Brad, take it away.
Hey, call me crazy. Movies are fun.
That's right. Movies are fun, baby. All right, enjoy yourself. We love everybody here, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.